The movie begins with a boy romantically proposing to his girlfriend. A cameraman secretly films the moment from a distance, but suddenly a man sneaks up and thrusts a large knife straight through the camera to cameraman's eye. The cameraman collapses instantly. Just after the proposal, the boy turns to call the cameraman. At that very moment, an arrow pierces straight through his forehead, killing him on the spot. The girl screams and runs away in fear. She escapes into a building where she finds a security guard and tells him someone is trying to kill her. But before the guard can act, the same man enters the building and throws a knife directly into the guard's eye, killing him instantly. Terrified, the girl runs deeper inside and hides inside a capsule chamber. The man shuts the capsule and turns on the machine, turning the girl into minced flesh inside. It is revealed that this masked man is the Heart-Eye Killer, a serial murderer who has been brutally killing couples for the past few years. The story then shifts to a coffee shop, where a girl named Ally regularly visits. She seems tense. There, she meets a guy named Jay and coincidentally both order the same coffee. After a brief conversation, Ally leaves. The news plays in the background, reporting multiple new murders by the Heart-Eye Killer, urging everyone to stay indoors. Later, at her company meeting, Jay shows up. It turns out he recently joined the same company where Ally works. Then we return to the crime scene from the beginning, where detectives investigate. Detective Jeanine Shaw confirms that it was indeed the Heart-Eye Killer as his image appears in the cameraman's footage. Jay later invites Ally to a restaurant to discuss a campaign for the company. Ally arrives and waits. Jay comes and after a small argument, Jay walks out and Ally follows to apologize. While they talk, Ally sees her ex-boyfriend with his new girlfriend. To make him jealous, she kisses Jay and tells her ex that Jay is her new boyfriend. Her ex and his girlfriend wish them a happy Valentine's Day and walk off. But now, the Heart-Eye Killer spots Ally and Jay, assuming they're a couple. Ally and Jay take a taxi to head home. When Ally's house arrives, she gets out of the car but after walking a few steps, she checks her purse and realizes she forgot her house keys in the locker. Jay is watching her from the car and walks over to her. Ally tells him she left her keys inside locker and says she'll break the window to get in, but Jay stops her, saying she might get hurt. Instead, Jay breaks the glass himself but injures his hand in the process. They both go inside. Ally starts searching for the first aid kit and asks Jay to sit on the sofa, but there's barely any space. Ally finds the kit and begins removing the glass shards from Jay's hand. Suddenly, when she opens her cupboard, she sees the Heart-Eye Killer already hiding inside. Shocked, Ally screams and quickly shuts the door, but the killer pushes the cupboard open and comes out. Before he can attack Ally, Jay grabs him. The killer tries to stab Jay, but Ally picks up a lamp and smashes it on the killer's head. Both of them run out of the room, shut the door, and rush outside the building. The taxi driver is still there. They tell him to drive quickly, but before he can respond, the Heart-Eye Killer appears from behind and kills him. Ally tries to explain to the killer that they're not a couple. He stopped for a moment. Jay tries to call the police, but the killer shoots an arrow directly into his phone. Terrified, both of them run and enter an under-construction building. The killer follows them inside. Just as he is about to kill Ally, Jay attacks him from behind. In the struggle, Jay falls and gets knocked out, while Ally escapes and hides in a nearby spinning ride. The Heart-Eye Killer activates the ride and jumps in to attack her, but Ally manages to dodge each time. She finally pushes him off the ride and tries to run away but trips and falls. The killer moves toward her to strike, but at the last moment. The police arrive, saving her just in time. Detective Zeke Hobbs and Jeanine Shaw come to investigate. Ally sees Jay sitting in the police car and notices he's upset that she left him behind. She tells him she was terrified and didn't know what to do. The detectives tell her they found this man inside the building with a Heart-Eye mask and a gun. Ally insists that Jay isn't the killer. She was with him the entire night and the real killer was after both of them. Still, the police take Jay with them for questioning, where detectives Hobbs and Shaw begin their interrogation. Meanwhile, Ally arrives at the station and talks to the female officer at the reception. She insists that Jay is not the Heart-Eye Killer and asks to see him. The officer informs Detective Shaw that a girl has come to meet Jay. Shaw steps out and questions Ally about why the Heart-Eye Killer would try to murder her and Jay if they weren't even a couple. Ally explains everything in detail to her. Suddenly the power goes out. Detective Shaw instructs a female officer to keep an eye on Ally and heads inside. The officer searches for a flashlight, but as soon as she finds it, the Heart-Eye Killer appears behind her and impales her stomach with a metal rod, killing her. Ally hides behind a table, then throws a dustbin at the killer and runs away. She meets Detective Shaw in the corridor and tells her the killer is inside. Shaw pulls out her gun and aims it at him. Meanwhile, Detective Zeke and Jay are in the interrogation room when they hear a gunshot. Zeke steps out to check, but the hard-eye killer suddenly appears and slashes his throat with a large knife. Ally reaches a room next to Jay's. From a transparent window, she sees him and tries to talk to him using a microphone. Jay, whose hand is cuffed to the table, asks Ally to find the keys. However, when he doesn't hear a response, he thinks Ally has run away again. Suddenly, the hard-eye killer enters Jay's room and attacks him with a large knife. Jay tries to defend himself by circling the table. Just then, a gunshot shatters the glass wall. Ally shoots from the other side. She breaks the glass and shoots at the killer, but he escapes. Ally jumps through the broken glass to Jay's side but falls. She quickly stands and unlocks Jay's handcuffs, and both of them run out of the police station. They flee into a crowd of couples gathered for outdoor movie. The hard-eye killer also arrives there. The hard-eye killer appears, but people think it's just cosplay. They hide in a parked van where a drunk couple is already inside making loud noises. The killer hears them, opens the back door of the van and rams a spanner through the man's mouth, then forces the other end through the woman's mouth, killing them both. Panic spreads as he brutally kills anyone in his path. Ally tells Jay they must stop him before more people die because they lured him there. They shout to draw his attention and try to fight. Jay and Ally pull the spanner from the man's mouth, and then Jay fits back but is knocked down and nearly stabbed. Ally smashes a heavy object into the killer's head. He drops the knife but grabs her throat, and Jay stabs him through the waist, killing him. When Ally unmasks him, he's just an unknown man. Police arrive. Jay invites Ally to discuss their campaign again, but she refuses. Detective Shaw arrives, offers a ride, and Jay leaves with Shaw after giving Ally her number. Ally returns home, misses Jay, and calls her friend, who urges her to go find him. She rushes to the airport but can't see him. Suddenly, an unknown caller tells her to come to a location if she wants to save Jay. She arrives to find Jay tied up and another hard-eye killer standing beside him. It's David. Shaw arrives and reveals that both she and David are the real hard-eye killers. They give Ally a gun with one bullet and tell her to shoot herself or Jay. She tells Jay her feelings and fires, grazing his shoulder but hitting Shaw in the stomach. David thinks Jay is dead and laughs, but Shaw falls down and David checks on her. Ally drags Jay away, but Shaw catches up to them. David pulls Jay toward him, trying to kill him, but Jay pulls an arrow from David's coat and drives it through his eye and nose, dropping him in pain. Shaw furiously charges at Jay, but Ally stops her and she jams a metal straw into her neck and shoves her onto a statue's sword, decapitating her. David tries to crawl toward them, but Jay grabs a crossbow and fires into his head, ending it for good. A few months later, in a car, Jay asks Ally to stay with him, but she surprises him by proposing marriage. The nightmare ends with a happy twist. If you enjoyed this recap, like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Storycrax for more amazing movie explanations.